Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. We are doing our weekly reading today, and this is another new deck that I've been gathering this year. And this is the Blink of an Eye, and I'm going to do a review of it, and I find it really interesting. So we're going to do an hourglass or a medium-sized hourglass with this deck today for our weekly reading. Let's go ahead and start with you, Aries. Let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aries, here is your hourglass, and there is movement that we see right from the middle line through the stork and ship, but we also have two very solid landing cards like the tree and anchor, especially on the right hand side. So just from looking at this dynamic here, the middle line and the right hand side column, it sounds like you are going to make a move and arrive somewhere. And also, if it's not about physical travels and things like that, you could be moving forward with some projects and achieve your goals, or at least arrive in a space where you can build your growth and achieve your goals from it. So generally, the cards are positive and strong. We do have the clouds that is a bit challenging, but everything else is pretty solid. Now, the bear and anchor are both very solid as well. This is definitely a message for you to pursue your goals, and I would say up to completion. So don't give up on this, just keep moving forward. And we have a confirmation with the clouds and tree. The clouds brings up a bit of confusion, a bit of tension, and maybe there's a lack of clarity around what you should be doing. But stick with this and give it a bit of time until you find your way, and I think you will. So the tree and anchor are very much about staying with the journey, especially since we have the stork and ship in the middle. And I have to say that these two can be big travel and change cards. But if not, it is very much about pursuing your ambitions. So don't give up on this and keep working and keep doing what you know you need to be doing, Aries. The bear with the cross and tree is also lovely. I have to say that the bear and cross can bring up this element of heaviness and burden. But again, the tree is a card of patience. So don't give up on this. And I would say, keep moving forward, but don't make changes in your path. We see through the tree, anchor, and bear, and also the ring, and I would say also the cross, that this is a journey you should be continuing on until you achieve your goals. So bear with it a while longer. Be patient because you are in process of achieving your goals. The bottom line also confirms this. We have the clouds and ring, and this brings up doubts and question marks around a relationship or a commitment. But again, the anchor on the right hand side here with the ring, very much about staying and sticking with it. We see this with the tree and anchor as well. Very much about sticking with it despite the issues. You're going to get through them. I have to say also, Aries, that the clouds is not a huge deal. It's not the most challenging card of the deck. There are more challenging cards in Lenormand. But the clouds is more about figuring things out and having clarity. So just stick with this, bear with it, and you will achieve your goals. The bear and clouds is similar to the tree and clouds, working through the issues here. I could suggest that maybe there could be some competition or someone who's trying to block you, but I don't think this is the most likely interpretation, but it's certainly a possibility. The cross and ring is similar to the bear and cross, bear and ring, the idea of sticking with this and bearing your responsibilities and also living up to the expectations and your commitments. And like we said, the tree and anchor is very much about staying on course and not making changes to your direction and sticking with things because they are on the right track. So Aries, this week you need to bear with it, you need to stick with it, and you need to commit to the expectations or to your task and your objectives. You are on the right track. So put in some effort, do what you need to do, and keep moving forward. The bear with the stork ring into the ship entry is quite reassuring because it tells us that if you keep moving forward with this direction or this commitment, is going to grow in the right direction. And with the cloud, stork, cross, ship, and anchor is even more reassuring because we have the anchor after the ship, which is a combination of arriving. So very reassuring here and very clear, I have to say, Aries, really telling us to stick with this, to keep moving forward, but in the same direction. So don't change directions, but keep active in it until you achieve your goals. Now, because of the ring, it can be a relationship that's at hand. And maybe in the sense there are changes or people are traveling, coming and going, but it's still a clear message of sticking with this relationship. Even if there are issues or some tension, I think you will work this out, but you have to keep moving forward with it. So very clear message here, and also with good outcomes, assuming you put in the work and stick with it, Aries. Let me know what you make of these cards. Let me know what the situation was specifically for you. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Taurus, let's do your hourglass and see what is ahead for you this week. Okay, Taurus, here is your hourglass, and it's looking mostly bright, mainly through the flowers, possibly also the anchor. The mouse and anchor in the middle line is kind of clear about what the message is for you this week. There can be losses or annoyances, and possibly also people who are annoying, who are like energy drains. But the anchor is very clear about creating boundaries and also sticking with things despite the issues and also resolving them. So if there are things that are starting to get out of hand, you absolutely have to take control. The anchor is very much about securing and security and creating like a boundary around things. So you definitely want to take anything that is starting to dwindle or to not work out or to drain you, and anything like that or being wasted, it has to come under control. And I think this is going to be the key. Now, the letter and lily can be about an offer, work-related, or something more professional, or possibly even legal and official. Perhaps there is news that comes in this way. So in regards to the middle road, this can be the issue that you're dealing with. You might have to communicate about it, get in touch with someone about it so you can bring things under control. The cross and bear can suggest a bit of heaviness and some kind of burden here that you need to deal with. And certainly the anchor would add to that, but it is on you and it is your responsibility to bring things under control. It's possible that the bear with the cross can suggest someone competitive or someone who's, whom you're up against. And I'm not seeing these major success cards, although the flowers in stork is quite bright, but certainly with the anchor, it helps you bring things under control and to contain, such influences or energies in your life. So I think it's going to be important to be vocal about this and also to act on it. The letter with the flowers and bear is actually really bright. This can point to all sorts of positive messages, a sense of empowerment, a sense of growth. You could get an offer that enhances your position. It could be something like a promotion or some other kinds of improvements. And not necessarily in your life, but in general as well. So these are some really good messages. And if this was a person, because the bear can sometimes represent a boss or, people like that, you could get their support. So again, it pays off to get in touch, be professional and, be objective, I would also say, in order to resolve this issue. And I think you'll find that you get support. The cross with the stork and lily can be some important changes that you make with regards to your lifestyle or your career. And I think they tie into the losses or the issues that we see with the mouse and anchor. So I think it's an opportunity for you, Taurus, to come into control and to bring things under control and to be on top of them. And this could be empowering, and also it can ask for you to make some adjustments in your life, your work, and I think in your life in general, but maybe in some more specific area. The letter and cross points to important news that we saw ties into the top row. And the flowers in stork is great for a sense of healing and freedom. So I think it's going to pay off for you to pay attention to what the mouse is telling you to bring things under control, because it will give you that much more elbow room. And the bear and lily is interesting here because it can be about official matters, but I think in the broader context here, I do think it has to do with a sense of empowerment, maturity. Maybe you get a promotion or you get the support of, someone in a higher position or someone with influence. So these are really great cards to bring things into focus and under control. You have to manage it, Taurus. You can communicate to the right people about it, and you will find that you get support and resolution. So don't give up on this. And also, Taurus, a key message that comes with the mouse is that you want to deal with this while it's small instead of waiting for it to grow into something bigger. So take charge, do what you need to do, put the right boundaries around certain things, and take control of whatever it is that could be sort of, veering off in an unwanted direction. I want to add, Taurus, that I don't think these cards are personal or bring personal relationships. I think it's more about something more professional, work related, or just more on the practical side in your life. But the dynamic is the same, is that you want to take care of issues while they are small and bring things under control and communicate with the right people to do this. And it also looks like it's on you. So do your part, Taurus, and don't be lazy about this or ignore it. That's not the message at all. The message is to take action. Let me know what you make of these cards. Let me know how it applied in your context. I look forward to that because it's kind of a bit of a unique spread. So I'm really interested in your experience here if you're willing to share it. Thank you for tuning in, Taurus. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Gemini, let's get into your hourglass and see what this week brings. Okay, Gemini, here is your hourglass, and through the middle line, the book and child, we have a very clear message of a new chapter. I think this aligns with a few readings we've seen so far that point to a new beginning, and I think it's very clear in here. Something new is coming up in your life this week. Now, the cross and lily can suggest something a bit more like above average, above daily events, because both the cross and lily point to the bigger picture of your life, and it can affect something in your life as a whole. And I mean by that, this new beginning would affect that. So it could be a significant new chapter. And also, Gemini, you might need to make a decision, an important decision that affects your life, your career, and your direction as a whole. It is also a message of responsibilities, so do your part to discover what this new chapter is about, or if you're going to take steps in it. It looks like it's on you. Now, the rider with the dog is great for a messenger or someone who comes through with help. It could also be a visit with someone, maybe a friend, or it could be some progress made, with other people like customers and people like that. But it is also a card of a combination of a message. And with this new chapter, and we also have the bird at the top, actually, which is another card of news. It looks like this new beginning is announced this week, and it opens up. Certainly in the order that we see here with the child after the book, it's more likely. Now, the cross with the bird and dog points to an important conversation you're going to have with someone. And this could be part of what leads to this new chapter. And who this someone is, Gemini, is flexible. We don't really see in the cards if it's personal or professional, although with the ship and lily, it's more likely that it's on the professional front. In all cases, an important conversation is here or some important news from or about this person. And it ties into the rider, just like we saw with the bird and dog. And it probably opens up this new beginning here. The rider with the ship and lily points to a new direction. It's certainly new because of the child in the cards, and it's likely to be new based on the rider. So this is about your journeys and your goals and objectives, and I think they affect your life as a whole. So you need to put something into motion this week, something new, Gemini, and you need to move forward. We don't only see the news cards, but we also see an element of action through the rider and ship, and possibly also the bird, and also the fact that we have the cross and lily. It has that element of responsibility. So you need to be proactive. The cross and rider is about your important objectives, possibly some important decisions about whether you move forward with this or not. And the bird and ship can be about travels, shorter term travels, but also excitement about these projects, possibly also a bit of nervousness. So it does bring activity, and you could be busy as this new beginning kicks off. With the dog and lily, we could be looking at partners, colleagues, other people in your network or professional environment. It could also be someone like or other people you work with. It's not so much of a personal relationship with the lily. It can be in some situations. So on this note, if we took the hourglass as suggesting a new relationship or a new beginning in a relationship, it looks like it moves forward. It looks like maybe there's a conversation here that opens up a new beginning or brings you and the other person into some kind of common understanding. But again, I'm not seeing the warmest of cards for the sake of a personal relationship. It seems to be more about your projects, your work, your ambitions, and these areas of your life. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Gemini. Let me know what is this new beginning that you are moving into, and what is this conversation that needs to be had, so it hopefully helps you forward. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Cancer, let's get into your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Cancer, here is your hourglass. It's looking pretty active. We have the possibility of travel and overcoming obstacles. We have a very beautiful message through the sun and mountain in the middle line. And this can point to a vacation, I have to say. It can point to a summer vacation. But the sun is also a very all around very positive card, and the mountain is sometimes an obstacle. So I think here you're in a position to overcome a blockage or something. On top of this, we have the whip and rider on the other side of the mountain. And yes, the whip can represent an obstacle or a challenge, certainly with the mountain. But the whip and rider is also a combination of speed and moving forward quickly. So when we see these two cards on the other side of the mountain, it tells me that you are going to break through these obstacles that are represented by the mountain, and you're going to overcome them and have a sense of momentum and speed that enables you to move past them. So I think this is actually a bright message. Now, the bear and rider is also powerful in the sense that it tells you to stand behind yourself and to move forward with guts and courage. And the tower and whip can be an issue or a problem that comes up with maybe a certain level of authority, or maybe an issue from the past that you need to break away from. So these are very strong cards, Cancer, that tell you to get unstuck and to, just whip something out of your life and move forward. You need to release the shackles, release restrictions. Even if it calls for a confrontation, you need to take a position, take a stand, and move past whatever issues are stopping you. And also keep in mind that we have the beautiful sun in the middle line, and the sun is an all-around positive and wish fulfillment card. So you have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of positive energy, and I don't think you want to waste time staying stuck anymore this week. So pick up and make changes. The bear with the garden and whip can point to disagreement with people. What environment is specifically represented by the garden, I think depends on your specific situation. That's up to you. But with the bear and whip, there can be some confrontations here, and I think people could be headbutting each other. It could be you or someone else. But also, the whip on the other side of the garden is a clear message of moving away from this environment. So it is also on you to have the courage to take a stand and make changes. In the bottom line, we have the tower with the lily and rider, and this is a much more peaceful combination, and it does point to forward movement. I can also suggest that it could be the new direction or some more positive changes moving forward now that you've sort of shaken the cage and you've dealt with the things as they need to be dealt with. The tower and lily can also suggest something official, and in fact the bear and lily does as well, and the bear and tower is often a combination of someone in authority. So maybe there are problems with bosses, but I think they need to be worked out. And also, Cancer, you might need to take a stand, or maybe you're getting a promotion or stepping up to something, but it's clear that you need to deal with it, and you need to deal with it with the right people. Like I said, the bear and tower can represent someone in authority. So maybe this is someone you consult, but it could also be someone you fall out with. Because we have the bear in the top row with the garden and whip, I have to wonder if this isn't the person with whom there are issues that come up. The garden with the lily can represent the workplace. Sometimes it's associated with the hospital and health environments. And I have to say that if this is a health situation for you, Cancer, there are ways forward, but not without effort. You have to confront a situation. Maybe you need to get a second opinion. Maybe you need to remove yourself from an environment that proved not to be healthy, and make these changes. And yes, these changes apply in other contexts as well. And like I said, the whip and rider is a speedy combination. It really brings up speed and forward movement. And so you need to get unstuck, and you need to act quickly You need to make changes, and also if it calls for a confrontation and other maybe arguments, but the key is really to deal with the issues and move forward. So it can feel a bit turbulent this week, Cancer. It can feel like there's a lot going on, but the issues need to be dealt with, and you need to make changes. And remember, you have a very beautiful sun here in the middle line that can endow you with a lot of optimism and positivity. In fact, I think that's the reason why you're ready to deal with this, because your perspective is a little bit different. You're seeing the positive side of things. You want to be on the other side of it and not deal with, and so you're ready to deal with the issues, whatever it takes. So I think that's a good thing. I think it's okay to lose patience every so often, because you don't want to waste your time in certain situations. So yes, lose patience and deal with it and move past them and get going on the projects and objectives that are more important, so that you can, pursue the things that actually matter to you. In terms of work, for example, maybe you're leaving a job, or maybe there are restructurings and changes happening in the workplace with regards to managers and people like that. That is possible. When it comes to personal relationships, I think there's potentially a fallout and differences that come through, but again, you need to move past them. Now, the bear sun with the lily and mountain and whip, I think this supports what we said. You have a sense of empowerment and courage that enables you to break through and get past obstacles with strength. And the tower with the sun, garden, mountain, and rider can point to a change, possibly with another location abroad or online, but certainly there is good prospects here to move forward in a better direction. So quite a week, I have to say, Cancer. There could be a lot going on. I certainly look forward to your thoughts about this, what you made of these cards, how you resonated with them. Leave me a thought or two. I appreciate it. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Leo, let's see what is in store for you. Let's deal this hourglass and see what's ahead for you this week. Okay, Leo, here is your hourglass, and the focus on relationships is very clear with the man, woman, and the ring, but we do have the whip in the line, in the middle line, along with the road. So I wonder if there is a parting of sorts. Now I have to say that the lines, top and bottom row, where the man and woman figure, are actually pretty positive, especially the top row. And it also pairs with the column. So actually these cards are really bright in contrast to what we see in the middle line. So I have to wonder if maybe someone or one of you is leaving a situation or a relationship, and on the other side of this, there is a union between you and this person. Or there are differences that come up that are also resolved. So these are possible scenarios. Now, it's my feeling that the relationship is more personal because we have the moon, but we also have the lily. And this could be a card of professionalism and career. So maybe the relationship is in that area. These two are possible. Now, the man and lily points to someone older, usually, or someone professional, or it can be a long-term relationship. And the ring and moon is an offer, or in terms of personal relationships, it's definitely attraction and a strong connection here, thanks to the ring. So these are some nice cards that support the relationship. Very different from what we see in the middle line. The man with the key and moon is very much about a supportive person, and there is a strong attraction here. There can be, some kind of magnetism that is between you and this person. Regardless, though, it's a very good relationship. In terms of work or, professional matters, this could be an opportunity or an offer that comes through thanks to the moon and key, and probably through this person. The ring with the woman and lily points to a long-term relationship. So again, unlike what we're seeing in the middle line, this is a committed relationship and it's for the long term, and it could be something like a marriage or a deeper commitment like that. And when it comes to work and other such areas of your life, it is an element of commitment and sticking with the path, and I think there's also a strong sense of security. The man and ring is like the woman and ring. It's a committed relationship and a supportive person. And the key and woman is like the key and man, also someone who brings answers and support. And the moon and lily is also great for an offer, but also in terms of relationship, there is a long-term evolution, there is a sense of attraction, and also I would say a sense of peace within the relationship. So these cards, top and bottom, and the columns, they're very different from the turbulence that we see through the road and whip in the middle line. The road and whip is usually a parting or a separation. So like I said at the outset, maybe something falls out and falls through so that this relationship can come together. Or on the other side of the challenges here, there is a reunion or a connection that is able to solidify and grow. It's possible. Now, when it comes to work, I do think that, you could leave a job, or you could, there can be problems like that or challenges that cause you to find another commitment or another involvement. And I think you do, because these cards very much support this. The same idea can apply in other contexts. We're not really seeing money or home, family, those areas. It's either relationships or perhaps something job related because of the lily, moon, the road, and the relationship card. So I think these are the two likely areas where these cards make sense. Now, the man with the road and woman into the whip and moon is one line that brings together the challenges here in the relationship. And on the other side of the whip, we have the moon that softens the whip a little bit. So we see here that there could have been an issue, or perhaps this issue was with another relationship. So I'm thinking a love triangle, possibly. In the other diagonal, we have the ring, road, key, whip, and lily. So again, the key is helpful to soften the whip and also to find solutions. And with the whip and lily, there can be some big changes that are going to be beneficial. So it's interesting how the road and whip play out, and I certainly look forward to how that worked out for you in your specific context. But I think the way we can make sense of these cards best is by suggesting that another relationship or something else falls through and it gives way for a better connection moving forward, or for a new connection altogether. And I think this can apply in both practical work and such areas, as well as in relationships. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Leo. I look forward to your thoughts, your feedback. Very best of luck with this transition and with this lovely relationship. I hope it works out in this way. Leave me a comment or two. Very best of luck with the week as always. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Virgo, let's do your hourglass and let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Virgo, here is your hourglass. And I have to say that when it comes to relationships, which it is very much focused on, there is an issue that comes up with someone. We have both the snake and fox, and we have the ring and dog. These bring up deceptions in relationships, and we also have the clouds in the middle line with the fox, which highlights the manipulation or the problems, the deception that is coming up here. So I think you could be having second thoughts about a relationship, and certainly something comes up that creates these doubts. The snake and dog is very much about someone who's dishonest, and it can also mean that you want to move away from someone. But the star and bear is actually really bright, and I think that you're in the right position. You've got the right perspective on this, Virgo. And I have to also suspect envy, because with the star and bear, you could be doing really well. You could be shining bright. And so with the fox and clouds, snake, and all of these combinations here, there can be some envy directed towards you because of your success or something else. So be aware of this. Now, the snake with the ring and bear points to a pretty deceptive relationship. And also the bear can bring up an important relationship. Now, my feeling here is because we have the bear at the end of the line, the ring with the snake might ask you to be more careful with this person. And I would say also playing along, because we're not seeing a parting. That's what's interesting about the cards. We're not seeing a separation, despite the issues that come through the snake, fox, and clouds with relationship cards. So despite these combinations, we're not seeing that you're breaking off or moving away. It sounds like you need to manage this in a clever way while being aware of what's going on as much as possible. And I also suspect that maybe you can't really break off and go off and do something different. So you have to manage this carefully. The bear can be a boss or someone in authority, people like that. And certainly with the snake and ring, you have to be careful here. The star with the bird and dog can actually bring a very positive conversation with a friend or some positive negotiations. So it sounds like you're doing well and you've got advantages here, Virgo, but there are people around you who are quite toxic and who are not going to be part of your success. So you need to be aware of who these people are so that you can, align with those who are supportive as opposed to those who aren't. The snake and star is quite positive. I read this combination as positive, despite the snake. I think this is about achieving your goals and knowing exactly what you want. So I think, again, you're clever, you're going after your goals, you know what you want, and you probably achieve them as well. The ring and bird is about negotiating a relationship and maybe having a conversation here. And the bear and dog can bring support from friends or a boss or, people like that. It is also possible that it lines you up for a promotion or for some improvement. And the reason is that the dog tends to be associated with a junior kind of level, whereas the bear is a more senior level. So you could be, negotiating your growth, your improvement, whether it's at work or elsewhere. You could be tapping into certain relationships to help you with that, your boss or some other person. But you also need to be aware that there is probably people who are playing against you, probably people who are envious, and you can't trust everyone with your goals and ambitions. So it sounds like you're going to have to be very clear about this, and you're going to have to make a clear distinction between those people and those who are supportive. But in general, I think you could be setting yourself on a better path forward. It is, again, navigating the environment or certain people and being clear about the differences between different people, but you also want to focus on your goals and move past these distractions as much as possible. Now the snake with the fox, bird, clouds, and bear, I think, again, the same idea here is that this could be a very tricky conversation or a very tricky situation, and you need to manage it carefully. I would avoid having conversations without being clear about what you're saying. And also, you want to tone down the conversation because it sounds a bit sensitive right now. And not everyone might be positive and optimistic for you. So again, having that sort of sense of distinction between these types is going to be key for your success. The star with the fox, ring, clouds, and dog can also suggest that you do well and you have maybe a good job or a good opportunity. But again, with the clouds and dog, it sounds like it affects other people negatively. And so that's why I was thinking there could be envy or, people playing against you. So it is more about navigating this environment this week, although I do think you have some really good prospects for doing well and at least for being on this path of success. Now, if this was about a personal relationship, I think the cards are also a bit tricky. I think there can be potentially a triangle, with the snake and dog and ring. There can be an external factor that is interfering in your relationship. But my feeling is that you're going to have the upper hand with this because we've got the bear and star, and the bear is on the right-hand side, and we've got the bear and dog. So I do think you have the support of the main relationship, and there can be, other people trying to interfere in it. Now, I'm not seeing that they get their way so much, but I think that you've got to be careful about this. So Virgo, this week is a bit layered. We certainly see the toxic people element coming into the picture, but we also see that you've got an advantage and that you also have supportive relationships. So they're not all, the same. There are some people who are supportive. So you're going to need to be, clear about who's who and who you entrust your affairs with, who you go to and who you don't. But I think the key is really about awareness and realize that not everything is what it is. There is deception at play, so be aware of that as much as possible. Let me know what you make of this, Virgo. This is a bit of a tricky spread, so I look forward to your thoughts and your feedback about this, how the cards resonated with you. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Libra, let's do your hourglass and see what's in store for you this week. Okay, Libra, here is your hourglass, and we have three very bright cards. We have the Sun, the Key, and the Star, and each of these cards is really bright. It brings wish fulfillment and very positive messages across the board. Now, the focus seems to be on home and places and, I guess, visits and communications with certain people. We have the Bear and House in the middle, and this would be a really good combination for parents or for someone in authority within a certain space. And so you could be visiting with someone, or perhaps this person supports you. And we do have the Mountain as well, along with the Rider. These could represent going somewhere, possibly abroad in another location, if not another country, maybe just farther from where you are. And we have the Letter and Rider, and these are news-related cards. So I think there's some exchanges here that could lead to a visit or maybe going somewhere. Now, the Sun and Rider is actually really positive. It brings wonderful news all around. We also see it with the Star and Rider, and actually this whole bottom line. And the Key and Mountain can suggest that you have opportunities or answers from another place or online or from someone abroad. And it ties in nicely with the Rider and Sun because it brings some answers and some positive feedback. So it sounds like now you could step into a certain space or connect with someone as a result of these communications. The Sun with the Letter and Mountain is very good news through the Sun and Letter. And then the Mountain can suggest that it's abroad, or sometimes it's an obstacle. So maybe there is a bit of a slowdown in communication, but honestly, I'm not so inclined to think so because we have the Rider with the Mountain and we have the Key with the Mountain. So these are some really good cards for news that connect you with someone abroad. And it can mean an invitation to go somewhere because, again, with the Bear and House, you could be visiting with someone, and the Rider can also suggest that. The Key with the Star and Rider is very good news. You get support, you get help, you get positive feedback. So these are really nice cards to help you move forward and to get positive answers in order to move forward. The Sun and Key is similar. This is an all-around happy combination. So I really think you could be in for a wish fulfillment, and you could get a green light and get what you want. And the Letter and Star also is a beautiful message here. It answers a wish, and there's very good news, just like the Sun and Letter. And the Mountain and Rider can mean a trip abroad, maybe to go see this person in this place, or perhaps you connect with them online or through other ways, and there is a strong connection that can materialize. Both the Bear and House are solid and strong, and so is the Mountain, except the Mountain can have a bit of a negative side sometimes, but on its own, but the Bear and House not so much. On their own, they're more neutral. So these are some really nice cards, Libra, that bring good news and possibly trips. You get the green light, you're able to move forward, and you're probably going to connect with someone. Now, the context is flexible. We don't really see if this is about work, money, relationships, or some other area of your life. So the context specifically is flexible, but the same idea applies. The Sun with the Bear and Star into the House and Mountain, there can be some very positive things materializing in a place abroad, or you could connect with someone and there's a strong connection here. And the Key with the Bear and Letter into the House and Rider is much closer about visiting with someone, because the Rider and House can suggest an invitation and a visitor. So it looks like there's the green light for this, the green light to get together. Maybe you're going to visit someone, or they're coming, or there's some other kind of meeting somewhere. But it looks like it can materialize at this time, and it looks like it actually happens. So hopefully this materializes for you, Libra, and I hope it also supports your goals and your wishes and other areas of your life. It's also good for a personal relationship where maybe you're connecting with someone and there's an opportunity to get together. So really nice cards, great for any context, I would say. Just be ready, Libra, to connect with this person, to give and take, and to maybe go out a little bit out of your way to see them. So make yourself available, and I would say prioritize this connection. Let me know what you make of these ideas. I'd be really interested to know in what context they materialize for you. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Scorpio, let's do your hourglass and let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Scorpio, here is your hourglass. We have a focus on relationships. We have the ring in the middle and we have the man. And for the most part, or for some of the part, it is a positive relationship and there looks to be some steps forward, but there is also a fox earlier and a mountain, which, can be a bit cold. And so there could be a balance here. But it's nice to see the garden and stork at the right hand side because it sounds like you get together with this person and there are activities. Now the flowers and ring in the middle is actually a really nice pair. It's lovely for flirting, for connecting, for happiness and celebrations with a person. But the fox and stork can point to a bit of a deception here, or maybe I'm suspecting also maybe playing hard to get or trying to not be easily available. I think that's possible. But there is a step forward. And like I said, with the garden and stork, you could get together with this person. I have to also say that the fox can be a card of work. So if this is about jobs or looking for a contract, looking for a project, you could get one. And probably this person helps you with it. Now the bear and garden points to important people or an important environment. And you might want to get involved in this place because maybe here you will find support. And I think this ties into the flowers and ring nicely. And the fox, man, and garden can suggest that. So there could be someone that you meet in this place. The fox can suggest that it's a bit tricky or, he's not straightforward and you need to manage a little bit the relationship. But it's still definitely worth your while to meet these people to see how they can support. The bear, mountain, and stork can point to a place abroad. Usually the bear and mountain suggest someone who is based abroad, and with the stork, maybe you're going to visit. So that's a possibility. So these connections or this place and these meetings, they can happen in a place in a different location, farther from where you are, or much farther. So that is flexible. But the mountain is sometimes an obstacle, and with the stork on the other side of it, it is lovely to see a sense of freedom and overcoming this obstacle. It can require some effort on your part. You need to be strong and be up to this, and then you'll overcome it. I think in the context of the rest of the cards, you want to overcome any sense of distance or stuckness, and you want to come closer to these relationships, to these people. So if you've been shy or holding back, or you just, you weren't really into making a move and getting to know these people, you want to overcome this, Scorpio, because these relationships can prove to be pretty beneficial. Now, the fox and bear is great in a work context because it can suggest a colleague or a connection with a boss. It can also suggest working towards a promotion. And it always asks for caution with certain people. In this case, especially people of influence. The man and mountain can represent this person abroad or possibly this person who was away. I was saying that the mountain has an element of distance and you want to close that gap and overcome the distance. And the garden and stork is really promising in this sense because it suggests events and get together with this person. So I think you can overcome whatever distance or stuckness you had been experiencing, or this person might have been a little bit out of reach or difficult to come by. And it sounds like there's a connection here and there's an opportunity to be with this person, to reconnect with them. So I think these are lovely cards that bring a person, two people together, yourself included. And I think the potential issues that we see with the fox are not great in this context. Instead, I think there's activity and overcoming of this distance or this, the time apart. And also, Scorpio, these are good cards for any context. So they're good for personal relationships, family relationships, or professional relationships. In any context, they are supportive. The same dynamic applies. There was maybe a distance or a time apart or some hesitation, but now there's an opportunity to get together with this person, and it sounds like it's a relationship that pays off. We can wrap up with a couple of diagonals. We have the fox, flowers with the mountain, ring, and garden. So again, here there's a connection, possibly in another location. And the flowers can help overcome the fox a little bit, but it is also a combination that warns you a little bit about, people who are overly kind or appear to be kind. So just balancing out the expectations. But still, in the other diagonal, we have a really bright message as well. We have the bear with the flowers and the man, ring, and stork. So definitely this relationship picks up and kicks off, and there are activities with this person, or perhaps the connection builds moving forward. So really nice cards, great for landing any project or job, great for reconnecting with someone, and for taking it forward. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Scorpio. Let me know who this person was, in what context you think it was. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Sagittarius, let's do your hourglass and see what is in store for you. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your hourglass, and it's looking kind of exciting because it sounds like something picks up after a time of waiting or when things were on hold. In the middle line, we have the coffin and stork, and especially in this order, this is a combination that suggests that something picks up or moves forward after a time of waiting or when things were on hold. We also have the beautiful clover, and we have the fish, beautiful cards for money and prosperity, and we have it with the fox. So I really think that this could be about work and jobs or projects. The lily also supports with this. The lily and clover can suggest some beautiful luck happening here. You could be in for an exciting phase, and certainly after a time of ending or waiting, things pick up, and I think you are happily engaging moving forward. We also have the child and fox, which can point to a new job. And I think with the fish, lily, I think this is very much the area that is in focus. Now, the fox does have a deceptive side. It can be a bit manipulative. It can be a bit tricky. So maybe with these first steps after this time of waiting, you want to be careful and you want to be strategic. I still think there's some really beautiful energies here. The lily with the anchor and fox is great for moving forward in your current path. And I think you are on a strong foundation, and I think you could also land a good job or be in a good work situation or in a practical situation in your life if you don't work, depending on how you operate. But I think these are great cards for creating security. Now, again, the fox remains a bit of a card that calls for caution. So you want to make sure that whatever it is you are engaged with or you're committed to, you understand the ins and outs. And when it comes to people, you also want to have some good boundaries and healthy boundaries with certain types to make sure that, people respect you, you respect your boundaries and your scope. Now, the child with the fish and clover is beautiful for a new source of income, for a new opportunity that could have a good material element. It could also point to a bonus and things like that. So these are really nice cards that welcome this new beginning. Now, the lily and child points to a new phase in life. And along with the coffin, these are clear cards, Sagittarius, that point to a new phase. So this could be quite significant. It could be a new job, a new project, and it affects your direction in general. The anchor and fish is great for security, financial security, and also for having a good foundation to build on it. And the fox and clover is really nice to see because it does help with protecting you against any of the potential challenges that come with the fox. And it is also another great message for a good job, a good project, and things like that. So these are some really bright cards overall that tell us that you are in for a new phase, especially after a time of waiting. We have the lily with the coffin, fish into the stork and fox. So I think here things pick up with your work, your money, and I think you're excited about that. And the child and coffin into the anchor, stork, and clover can also point to an ending and the need to bring something to completion. So it sounds like you're turning the page and you're moving into a new phase, and it is a really great time for it. And I think you're going to be happy with what comes through, hopefully. Like I said, I think this is mostly about your work and money. I mean, I can't really read into this relationships or home, or other areas of your life. It's clear this is about work, projects, money, business, the practical side of your life, and things picking up in this area. So I hope this materializes for you, Sagittarius, and I hope you'll get a good bonus and a sense of prosperity and other possibilities with your money and other practical things in your life. Let me know how it goes. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Capricorn, let's get into your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Capricorn, here is your hourglass, and it does have a couple of challenging aspects with the mouse and scythe, mountain and mouse. These can bring up some obstacles and some challenges, but we do have a really nice message here through the fish and garden, which point to prosperity. It could be a reference to the market or your business or the work environment, and it does look prosperous, so there can be some positive turnarounds after a time of challenges that we see with the mouse, mountain, and scythe. Now, the mouse with the garden can point to issues in a certain place, in a certain environment. There could have been losses or wastefulness. You could also be stressed out from being in a certain space or environment. But the child and fish bring a new beginning, and it looks like it's a new beginning in your work or your money or your business. So you could be changing jobs or maybe making some improvements that help alleviate and improve this stressful situation that we saw earlier. In the middle, we have the lily and man, and this can point to someone professional, possibly associated with the law or someone senior, someone more experienced, and people like that. And maybe this is someone who helps you with this new beginning and this change. So these are some pretty exciting cards. I can also suggest, Capricorn, that maybe this is someone you need to consult in order to make this opportunity materialize. In terms of jobs, it could be someone who hires you, or maybe someone who, enables the opportunity in one way or other. Now, the mouse with the mountain and fish can point to these challenges. It could have been an uphill struggle, honestly, and we see the fish on the other side, which is a card of abundance normally. So there can be some matters that you have to take care of, Capricorn, in relation to your finances or business or such practical areas in another location, or perhaps you have to overcome the obstacles at this point. And again, it sounds like this person enables you to do that. Now we have the mountain and scythe, which is great for breaking through obstacles. So we do see that you are very likely to overcome the blockage, the distance, the issues, the stuckness, and come through with a sense of prosperity through the fish and garden on this side. In the bottom row, we have the child, scythe, and garden. So this is a new beginning that can come swiftly. And with the garden, there can be a couple of possibilities here. Either you break away from a certain environment into this new beginning, or this is in fact the new beginning that you break into. I think both are likely, right? Because whenever you make these changes, from moving from some situation to a new situation, you're going to move automatically from one space to another. So I think there's a breakthrough here, and there is a sense of liberation as well. The mouse and child can point to difficulty getting this beginning off the ground. Again, I think that there could have been delays or obstacles, things were dragging, but I think at this stage you can look forward to, to overcoming these issues and breaking into a new beginning. The fish and garden, like I said, is great for prosperity, so it's really nice to see it on the right-hand side after the challenges here and after the breakthrough that we said came through the mountain and scythe. So again, a really good set of cards, Capricorn, that can create freedom and prosperity for you. It sounds like some person is going to be central in this, and it sounds like you're overcoming a phase that could have been a bit difficult and dragging. We've got also a couple of diagonals. We've got the mouse, lily, scythe, and man and fish. So again, these are positive changes, especially since we have the fish at the end. Maybe this person is someone who you have to pay. Maybe it is someone who is an expert or, a professional whom you pay for these changes. Or it can be the person who helps you with the changes, but certainly you overcome this, phase of where things are sort of negative and have been dragging. And with the child, lily, mountain, man, and garden, there seems to be a meeting here with this person, probably in another location. And with the child and lily, it sounds like a new phase, and this is really exciting. So it's pretty clear to me, Capricorn, that this person is kind of instrumental in making these changes happen. It could be someone you hired, for it, but it could also be someone who hires you, or, who enables this opportunity, like a customer, a colleague, a collaborator, anyone like that. Nice result in all cases. And I also want to add, Capricorn, that I'm not seeing so much a personal relationship aspect. It's possible, but I have to say that the fish in relationships is more on the physical front. So it could be a really good relationship in this sense. And if it is a personal relationship, you do overcome maybe some differences or issues that you had in it. And there's a clear possibility for a meeting and a get together here. So I think these are nice cards. I certainly hope you resonate with them in this way. Let me know what you made of them, Capricorn, how it played out for you, who this person was and what this opportunity is, and what this exciting new beginning is as well. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for tuning in. Very best of luck with the week. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Aquarius, let's get into your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aquarius, here is your hourglass, and I have to say it's pretty straightforward. We have a really nice unfolding of the events. It seems to me that you had an issue with someone for work or work prospects or business prospects, but it sounds like these issues are overcome and you're able to collaborate. Very clear in the cards. So we have the woman and sun in the middle. This is great for a relationship. Now, who this person is flexible, but I'm seeing the fox and I'm seeing the fish, and there's also the garden. So it seems to me that this could be a work collaboration. It could be a personal relationship as well. Now, the clouds and fish can point to issues with money or the business or, the work in general. There could have been expenses and things like that. And the fox and garden can point to a project or work, but also the fox is a bit tricky and point to deceptive people. So there can be a certain environment where, you weren't sure if it was a good fit, or you're not sure what is the real intention of people. And with the clouds and fox, I really think this could have been an issue, and we see it closest to the woman. And the fox, the garden is also a card of community and people. So it seems to me that there was issues with certain people or with a specific person, and you weren't sure if things were going to work out. But what's nice is the rest of the cards, the columns here. We have the letter and flowers, which is very good news. And the flowers is a card of renewal. So there can be an opportunity to reconnect and rectify the issues. And the garden with the fish is great for money and prosperity, and it represents the marketplace or a business. So seeing the unfolding of the cards from left to right sounds really promising for resolving the issues or the differences and taking advantage of this opportunity to collaborate and do well together. So really nice cards. Again, I think this has to do with your work, your business, and this area more than anything else. In the top row, we have the clouds with the letter and garden. So again, I think that maybe a meeting is helpful in order to resolve the issues or to clarify the understanding. And the fox with the flowers and fish is great for a project that bears fruit. It sounds like a fruitful activity, a good job, a good opportunity, whether it's job related or not. So I think the cards speak really clearly, and I think, Aquarius, you can look forward to rectifying whatever issues came up with this person or these people. I want to suggest that you be willing to meet and negotiate and discuss and give and take, because it looks like on the other side of this there is a prosperous opportunity and a good opportunity overall. We also see it through the diagonals. We have the clouds with the woman, flowers, sun, and garden. So again, these three cards bring a wonderful connection and a wonderful activity. And we have the clouds on the left, which tells us that these positive cards help overcome the doubts or the tension or the issues. And the fox with the woman, letter, sun, and fish is similar. We have the sun and fish together. It's great for prosperity, opportunity, bonuses, good stuff going on with money and these areas. And the fox and woman can suggest that there could have been some issues with this person, or you weren't sure what their intentions were. But again, the beautiful sun helps clarify, and really nice to see it with the fish and garden and the flowers. So lots of prosperity and opportunities here. So very nice cards, Aquarius, and very easy to read. There's a clear flow in the cards. Be willing to set differences aside and see what can be done about the issues that came up, because it looks like there is an opportunity to overcome them and take advantage of an activity that is fruitful and, you know, delivers success all around. This is true at work, where you could be getting a new opportunity, or even in personal relationships where you can overcome some differences and agree to move forward. Let me know what you make of them, Aquarius. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Pisces, let's do your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Pisces, here is your hourglass, and it's looking really exciting. You've got a new direction, you've got a new opportunity, you could be traveling, going places, making changes, and all of it seems to be part of your success, and it will contribute to your prosperity. So the ship and child in the middle here, this is clearly a new journey, a new direction. You could be going to a new place if it's a physical trip, but it's certainly an exciting new direction. And the fish and key, this is great for money. This is great for financial success. It's great for all sorts of opportunities. So it sounds like this new beginning has the potential to open up some interesting opportunities here. We also have the garden and stork. This is very much a combination of activities, of going places. It seems to me that you're going to be pretty busy this week with a lot of going places and new things and new opportunities and pursuing prosperity and projects. So really exciting. Now in the top we have the fish with the fox and stork. This can be a job that kicks off a project or perhaps a customer. Again, it's tying into the fish, and so it sounds like you've got these interesting opportunities. The fox can be a bit deceptive when it comes to people, but I'm not really seeing people cards here, and I think this is going to be more about your discipline, Pisces, and getting things done. And I think this is going to be important in view of this new direction and these changes and all of this activity. So it is a productive week and probably a busy one as well. The garden with the road and key. You could be going places, again, a bit like with the stork. You could be exploring options. You could be going places, making choices about these projects and these directions that you're going into. And clearly with the key, you're going to make the right choice. But again, I think you really need to get going. It's looking pretty active, and you know, the fact that you have choices suggests that you really need to focus on the goals, what you want, so that you can make the right decisions. The fish and garden are great for prosperity. It can represent the market, a business, the workplace, and so it looks like you are tapping into an environment where you could have potential for, you know, improving your activity, making sales, connecting, networking, and all of these efforts that could bear fruit. So again, really nice cards and clearly suggest activity. The fox and road is about being careful with making the right choice. I think when it comes to the more sensitive things, Pisces, you might want to have a good strategy and be more calculated. And also you want to make sure that you don't go in the wrong direction. So the fox would warn you of that. Now the key is great because it tells us that you're going to make the right choice. I also want to suggest that the fox is a card that helps you to be self-interested. So it helps you to focus on yourself and your priorities, and I would put yourself first, Pisces, at least this week. The stork and key is great for making positive changes, and also this is a combination that unlocks opportunities. These are really nice cards, Pisces. They bring a fresh direction, ambition, prosperity, great jobs and projects, and all sorts of activity that I think pulls you through into a more prosperous situation, mindset, and also that pulls you through towards your goals. So really exciting. We also have diagonals. We've got the fish with the ship, road, child, and stork. So clearly changes that bring a new direction. And I think these changes affect your work, your business, and maybe your direction in general. And the garden with the ship, fox, child, and key is another positive combination, mainly because of the key at the end. And like I said, this can be a project or a job. You could be more involved, you could be more active, and this brings new opportunities. So really nice cards, Pisces, I would say, especially for work and business and the practical side of your life. It's a great set of cards for your prosperity your ambitions and this new direction that is materializing. Again, I'm not seeing people cards at all, actually. The fox can represent people, but that's about it. So I really think this is more about you, your projects, maybe even a trip, and moves that bring opportunity and success all around. I hope this resonates with you, Pisces. Leave me a thought or comment about this. I hope you'll affirm and be grateful for your prosperity, as it looks like you have some really nice energies going for you. Let me know what you make of it. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Very best of luck with the week, and until next time, take very good care of yourself.